This is video 2 on how to use Pear Deck in the classroom. The first video showed how to get access to the extension and a simple overview of the add-on over here. This video is going to show how to pull in questions from the add-on into a lesson that's already been created. So this is a lesson that has been created about light, and you can see whenever a slide has the interactive element of Pear Deck, it has this little emblem here at the bottom. If you delete this, the whole interactive element disappears. So once you see this, make sure that you don't delete it unless you're trying to get rid of that interactive question. If I choose to make an interactive question, I look at my slide and I make sure that what's already on my slide matches the kind of question I'm using. So if I wanted to have my students understand the success criteria and maybe put it in their own words, what I could do is come over here to my add-on that's already open and select text. Now on their screen, it's going to show the same slide that has a success criteria, but it's going to have a text box over to the side, and they'll be able to write out their own thoughts about what it means to explain the movement of light. You can also pull in questions from the library that's already been established. So this is a question that I pulled in from their content library, and I just did, this one came from the beginning of the lesson, and based off of the slide prior, they should know the answer to this true or false question. And all I did was pull it in. Whenever I pulled in the question, however, it did not have the question about the light up here, but you can edit any of these. So if I put this question in and then I say, okay, well, I noticed that my class is having a hard time with this concept already from their answers. I might also want to pull in the second follow-up question and edit it specifically for what misconceptions that I see. So I can come in and instead of just leaving it as a true or false question, I can say, in your own words, describe the movement of light. And now this is an interactive slide that's been edited to meet my content requirements. You can continue to pull in other questions that are interactive based off of the location of of the slide in your lesson. So we have the beginning of lesson and you have text slides. It's really great because it tells you what kind of response you're going to get from your student. It's either text where they're going to be typing it in, drawing where they can draw or write. There's also a draggable slide, which is a little bitty icon. Another really fun thing about the draggable icons is you can actually edit the icons. So if you have a map and you're wanting to have the students drag icons to multiple places, you can actually change the icon. For this one, it's just a drag and drop of how do you feel at the moment. If I wanted to make it interactive, I can go back to that main page and I can make the draggable option for multiple things. So like, let's say this is a map of the United States and I'm wanting my kids to memorize different states. I can say, I want you to mark all states that are going to start with the letter T. And then they can put a flag and I can change the color. I can also have them do multiplication symbols or different math symbols. There's numbers. So maybe if we're talking about the establishment of the first 12 colonies, I could say, I want you to mark the first 5 colonies of the first 12 colonies, and they can label them with the appropriate numbers. You can also do little icons like this if you're doing a map for first or second grade and you have to use a compass rose. They can also label their house, their school. They can create an entire map just using these draggable pieces. You can also edit the size. Over here on my slide, you see there's the flag. That would be on their screen. I can make it larger. I can make it smaller. It just depends on what your goal is in making the slide have that interactive element. Once you finish, you'll hit Update Slide. And while you won't see the flag on your screen right now, you know that it's there because of the interactive element labeled below. You have way, way, way more options in the library than you could ever use in one lesson, but you can do it by content. So if I'm doing a math lesson, I have mathematic stems that I can use. and you can edit these prompts. So if I wanted to pull in this lesson, let's say I want to have some shapes or something with my radiuses and height and width and all that stuff. I am not a math person, so I apologize. But you can edit these slides and you can pull in different pictures as well. So if I wanted to have um, the image of a real figure like a trash can, and I want to know the volume of a trash can, I can come up to Insert, Image, and then search the web or my computer if I already have an image, and I can have cylinder trash can because it's always nice to have that real world application. I can pull in the image that I want, and then I can also label the dimensions so that my students have to figure out the math equation on the slide and they'll be able to draw all over it. This is another one of my favorites. You can use this across multiple contents. You have 4 different boxes. You insert the image and you can say which of these doesn't belong. If you're math, you can say which equation does not equal 14, or you can use it as which of these is not a liquid, or you have all these different ways that this slide can be used. It does not just fall under math. So if you are an ELA teacher or social studies or art or different things like that, don't feel resigned to just one tab. Look around and explore because there's so many different kinds of questions that you can use to make your lesson more engaging and to get feedback from your students immediately. Hopefully, this was a benefit to you. If you need more assistance, please reach out to your TIS and let us know.